Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, and advice. And one of my viewers has asked me to do a video with respect to the Mezuzah. What's a Mezuzah? There's a commandment in the Torah. It happens a couple of times, where it says we are to place the words of God on our doorposts of our house and on our gates. And so you will see in Jewish homes, especially if you come in through the front door, you'll see on the right side, the upper third, the lower part of the upper third of the door, approximately, depending on your height, eye level, you'll see a small rectangular case. It usually has the Hebrew letter Shin on it. Many people mistakenly think that this is the Mezuzah. It's not. That little rectangular case is exactly that. It's the case. The scroll inside, that's the Mezuzah. So if you have a wonderful, beautiful, decorative case, but the mezuzah is not kosher, it's not handwritten on a parchment by a specially trained, highly trained sofer, a scribe. If there's so much as a crack or a missing part of a letter, it's not kosher. You can have a $500 case and inside it's trafed up, and that's not a kosher mezuzah. Many reputable dealers, bookstores, will refuse to sell only a case. They'll say, I want to buy that mezuzah case. Okay, it's $10. Mazel tov. How much is that going to be? $80. But it's a $10 case. No. Included in the price is the mezuzah. I don't want the mezuzah, I just want the case. Many reputable dealers will refuse to sell a case without a kosher mezuzah. It will come as no surprise to anyone that the laws involved in writing out the mezuzah are very complex. So make sure you buy your mezuzah from a reputable source, an acknowledged Jewish bookstore. If you can get one from a scribe, it's more common to get one from a bookstore. You can get them online, but just make sure they're kosher, because you'll be spending a lot of money for nothing. Mezuzahs can range from anywhere from $30, $40 American and up. Where is it placed? Let's talk about the front door. In the front door, the post, the doorpost, actually the word mezuzah means doorpost. It reminds us of the story of the Exodus, where the Jews put the blood of the lamb on the doorposts and the lintels of the doorpost. It's done on the right side as you're coming in. It's on the top third of the doorpost, usually in the lower part of the top third. It can't be closer than a handbreadth from the top. That's higher than that is too high. Lower than that is too low. And the rectangular case the top should be pointed toward the inside of the house or the apartment. Right hand side as you're going in, top facing inside as you're going in, upper third. But you don't just have one on your front door. Any entranceway to the house, if there's a side door, if there's a back door, off a porch or something like that, off a deck, they should have mezuzahs. Mezuzah, singular. Mezuzahs, or mezuzot, if you want to be Sephardi and Israeli about it. Also, the rooms inside the house, the kitchen, the living room, bedrooms, but not the bathroom. That's considered disrespectful. I have heard people put mezuzahs on garages if the garage is used for storage. If it's just a car, people don't. Speaking of cars, some people have these little tiny mezuzahs, or at least mezuzah cases, that they put in their car, in their glove compartment. You don't have to put a mezuzah in a car. It's not a residence. It's not a permanent thing, but a lot of people do. I call them karzuzas. The scroll, the handmade scroll, this, by the way, is a photocopy. This is not an actual parchment scroll. The scroll contains 2 paragraphs of the Shema, and in the 2 paragraphs of the Shema, in addition to reminding us about the exodus of Egypt, it also has the commandment for mezuzahs. You'll see at the end of the first paragraph, Al mezuzahs besecha uvesharecha. And similarly at the bottom, Al mezuzahs besecha uvesharecha, on the doorposts of your house and your gates. So what constitutes a house? If it's your home, you own the house, it's yours. It has the mezuzah. If it's rented, it's a rented apartment, you have to put it on. If you're there for 30 days or less than 30 days, let's say if you're there for less than 30 days, you don't have to put up a mezuzah outside of Israel. Inside of Israel, my understanding is that even if you're there for under 30 days, you put up a mezuzah. A completely temporary dwelling, for example, a sukkah, does not need a mezuzah. It is customary when one passes a mezuzah, either in the front door or throughout your house, to touch the mezuzah as you're walking through the doorway, and then kiss your hand. This is a constant reminder. There is a famous story, I think I may have made reference to it once or twice in some of the videos. Why the 45-degree angle? In many Sephardi homes in Israel, the mezuzah is straight up and down. There's a machlokes, there's a dispute between Hillel and Shammai. Hillel says that the mezuzah must go straight up and down along the doorpost. Shammai said no, it's supposed to go across. If you know anything about the academies of Hillel and Shammai in the Mishnaic age over 2,000 years ago, they could not reconcile. So what we do is, in order to reconcile the two disputes, we put it as much as you can on a 45-degree angle. Sometimes there's not enough room, so you just tilt it a little bit. Why? As a compromise between these two positions. And it's also a reminder, those of us, those of you who are married, when you enter your home, it's a reminder of Shalom Bayis. It's a reminder that having peace in the house is often about compromise. If you're selling your home to a Jew, leave the mezuzah scroll. If it's an expensive case, then replace the case with something cheaper. But if the purchaser is Jewish, you should leave him a mezuzah scroll. There are a lot of laws with respect to the mezuzah. I've covered just a few of the basics. If you go to aish.com, chabad.org, they will give you a lot more detail. But remember, very important, this is the mezuzah. The case is not the mezuzah. The mezuzah is the scroll. It's rolled up from the right side over. It's often placed in a plastic case. And on the back of the scroll is one of the names of God, Shaddai. If you have a glass or a clear plastic case, that will sometimes, you can see through that. But if you don't have one, get one, if you're Jewish. I understand that some Noahides put mezuzahs on their homes. You're not obligated to, you're not forbidden to, but even for a Noahide, it has special significance. And I know a young lady who's very dear to me, and I don't think I've ever seen her walk through any of the doorways of her house without touching and kissing the mezuzah. It means a lot to her. It should mean a lot to all of us. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines. Please come back. Please watch. Please learn. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I almost said on behalf of the Mezuzah Project. On behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.